Hi everyone, Alan Denman here, barging free, life on a narrowboat. So we're looking at this lovely narrowboat here, which has been hand painted, and it's got a very unusual design, and we're going to go and meet the owner of the boat in just a second. And the reason I'm doing this is that she's very imaginative and artistic, and I want you to see what she's doing inside, because there are design challenges with narrowboats. They're long tubes, and how do you do something kind of wonderful and unusual and different when you get inside? So I'm just going to climb on board here. It might get a bit jerky, but I'm just going to climb on board and see if she's in. We're going to meet Zoe. So let's just get on here without falling in the water. Let's see if she's in. Oh, that's looking hopeful.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, Zoe. Great to meet you. Can I come in?
Come on board.
Okay.
Come into the madhouse and enter at your own risk.
Okay. So.
And be careful of all of the debris everywhere.
Yeah, so this is, as you can see, work in progress.
That's a kind way to put it.
Let's just first talk a little bit, and then maybe we could kind of see a little bit about what you're doing. So, first of all, just to mic you up, can you take that mic?
I can take that, indeed.
Put it to your collar. Sound will be pretty good. There's no wind here.
There we go.
All right then, Zoe, just tell us a little bit about your boat. What's it called, how long you've had it, what you've done with it. Bit of history.
Sure. Well, my boat is called Marigold. Marigold's a 2006 Liverpool boat with a cruiser stern. 57 foot long, and I've had Marigold now for 1 year, and when I bought her she was dark green and completely rusty on the outside, and on the inside she was wood, very traditional, dark wood everywhere, which I know is very popular for some people, but it wasn't my taste. So I have spent a year pretty much painting everything from the inside to the outside of Marigold, making her into something that's a little bit more in line with my taste.
Right, well, just say a little bit about your tastes and your design principles. Can you say something about that? You know, what guides you to, how did you work out what to do with the inside? Well, I've filmed the outside already, and just people have seen it's a little different to the outside of most narrowboats. But when you got inside, what are you looking for to do here? What are your principles?
Well, I love colour and I love light. I find that the more colour in my life and the more light that's in my life, the happier I am, the more peace and the more joy that I find in every moment that I spend inside the boat. So Marigold has portholes all the way around and doesn't have really big windows like I know your boat does, and Follow Your Bliss. You've got lovely big windows. So my priority was to first of all brighten her up and to pick a really bright colour for everything, to give her a light feel. And I love colour. I just absolutely love colour. So I wanted to put as much colour as I could and make her as bright as I could. So that was kind of my design brief, really. And I love, when I say I love colour, I love like rainbow colour. Like the more colour, the better. Right. So
do you have any favourite colours? What are your favourite colours?
I love pastel colours, actually. All the shades of pastel colours, and I love the contrast between pastel colours and gold. So and that's why I painted the outside of Marigold like pastel blues and whites and pinks, and inside there's a pastel theme as well. So I painted the inside a really pale peach. Some people can't actually tell it's a peach. It kind of looks quite white.
This already. It's a peach.
Yes, it's a peach colour.
Okay.
And then there will be in here lots more colour going on, turquoise, but I haven't quite got to that yet. But this is very much a work in progress.
Why don't you give us a guided tour?
Sure.
and I'll let you go first.
Okay.
We're just going to watch we don't stretch the lead or it falls out, and then we
Fine.
get good sound. Right,
Well,
okay.
this will be a...
guided tour coming up, folks. Now,
Hopefully we'll do it before and after, because this is
Yes.
very much before and in a state.
That's right. We'll do a second one when it's all absolutely
Okay.
perfect and open to public view, and people will have to pay to come in because it'll be so unique. I can see it coming. There's some very unique things already. It's unique on the outside, and it stands out. And what do you want to show us?
Okay, first of all, I will just show you the sofa. It's hidden a little bit, but it's a pink sofa from Sofa Bed Barn, and it folds down into a double bed, and it's got storage underneath.
Okay.
So when it's not covered in bits of carpet and everything, it's very, very useful.
Okay. But now let us
And then
on.
moving along, here we've got the breakfast bar area, which is the office and the kitchen and the dining space all in one, really.
Okay.
And it's got the side hatch there. It's not open at the moment, but when we do the final tour, I'll show you that another time.
Now, traditionally, people often painted something on the inside of their side hatch doors. Are you going to do anything, or just keep it plain and simple?
I don't really do plain and simple. I normally find a way to complicate matters.
Right.
So there will be something there. I haven't quite decided, but there will be. I am thinking of a design that goes from possibly the left to the right, like a geometric design over it. Something like that. With these colours, there's turquoise.
And what colour do you call this? Like a pale turquoise?
Well, the colour is actually called duck egg blue, but I would say it's a turquoise colour.
Right. But let us look at your pièce de résistance.
Well,
which is this floor tile.
Well,
just have a look at this. This is unbelievable. Like what do you describe as a herringbone pattern?
Yes, so it's a herringbone parquet flooring. And I was inspired by this because I saw a lino that was like it, and I absolutely loved it. But I didn't want lino in the boat because it's quite cold underneath your feet. So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll make it myself. And
Okay, can we see one?
And so this is a block that I've painted. So I've individually painted each parquet block. There's 600 blocks I've individually painted.
600.
Okay. So I'm not necessarily sure I'd recommend doing this because it's a massive time commitment. But at the time, it felt like a good idea. And it feels good now. It's going down. I love the look, but it's very time consuming.
Yes. Okay, so that's something to note, people. And I've probably talked about the triple principle before, but I think it's a lot more than that. The triple principle is if you think something's going to take you 1 hour, it'll take 3, because you're working on a boat and you can't find things or there's strange angles. What have you found the most difficult thing about putting down these tiles then?
Oh gosh, there's so many difficult things. You're absolutely right. It's taken a lot longer than expected. The most difficult thing for me was 2 things. One is that I painted the blocks incorrectly at the start. So instead of painting just the top of the flooring, I actually painted all the way around, which meant that the flooring was difficult to get together. So that was challenge number 1. Challenge number 2 is using the power tools with my batteries. So I have to use a lot of power tools. In fact, if you come this way, I'll just show you one of them. So I've got the multi-tool here, which is what I'm using to cut, I'll just put the side on as well, to cut blocks. And this is the time-consuming bit, because when there are bits that need filling in, if you point the camera down here, Alan, when you see all these bits that need filling in, they all just need slicing and dicing. And I'm using this multi-tool to do that. But, electricity on the boat in the winter is not in abundance, unfortunately. The batteries are struggling, so I have to run the engine whenever I'm using the power tools. Right. So I'm having the engine going for like 5 hours a day at the moment. Yeah. So that has also been challenging. Okay. It's also 2 degrees out at the moment, so it's very chilly. So it's not the ideal time to lay down adhesive onto the boat floor.
Would you say then, advice to other boaters, do boat renovations in the summer, perhaps.
Yes, but the summer's for having fun. That's the problem. I did think I was going to do this in the summer, but then I came to Henley and had too much fun.
Okay.
Met you guys.
Yeah.
And ended up having a blast here.
Anything else? What about the bathroom? I'm just looking at the shower tiles. They're rather lovely, aren't they?
Yes, so I put in new shower tiles which go along here and also along
the wrap around. Yeah, great.
the side. And then in the bedroom, I've done I've got. This is nearly finished, although the carpet is due to go down, and also there's still there's floor blocks everywhere, and everything is in disarray because it's such a small space.
Yes.
When you're doing an area, especially like the floor, everything has to come up off the floor, and it just has to go somewhere. And at the moment, the summer is on the bed. Yeah. And luckily, I'm in my partner's boat at the moment, so I'm living in my partner's Yellow's boat.
Very handy.
And which is great, because otherwise this is not a very pleasant space to live in at the moment.
Would you advise anybody doing this themselves is do not be living on the boat at the same time. Live somewhere else, and really, because I know you've got all your possessions, your clothes, storage, a little cupboard there and everything else, which makes life very hard. There's very little space to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. Get off the boat. Otherwise you'll be miserable.
Okay.
That's a really great tip. I have been doing, Yellow and I have both been doing up the boats at the same time, actually. So there was a point where we were both working on the bedrooms and they were both not in a livable state.
Oh, right.
So we both did ourselves out of a bedroom and then ended up having to sleep in the saloon for a while. So I definitely say get off the boat or prepared to be miserable until you finish your DIY project.
Okay.
But I'm pleased with this room. So I've chosen, it's coming along.
Yeah, it's lovely, and I love you like stripes, don't you?
I love pastel colours and I love stripes.
You've got stripes on the outside as well. What is it about stripes that you like? Is it the movement of them? It's got an energy to them, or?
Gosh, I don't know. I think it's just nice to have I know what it is. The inspiration on the outside for the boat was that the stripes looked like rays of sunshine. Okay. And then that started as a theme, really, through the boat. So I guess to me, I see stripes and I see rays of sunshine.
And do you suffer from a feminine syndrome known as pinkitis? I think you're wearing a pink top and a lovely pink light switch. I
found a pink light switch.
Pink stripes. So yes, but that's okay. I think it looks lovely and it's different. That's what I really like about this. So what's your estimated time of completion, or known as ETC or something?
My estimated time of completion has been and gone. That was June.
Okay.
This year. So that was over 6 months ago.
Right.
So my revised time of completion is, gosh, I don't even have one. I'm just trying to do it as quick as possible and hope for the best. But definitely by the new year. Let's say by the new year. I'll commit to you, Alan.
So which new year?
Oh, it's funny because it might actually drag on that long.
I was thinking maybe spring. And then your boat will be ready for cruising? Or...
No, I'm going to say January.
Okay.
Let's be optimistic.
Right. Okay.
January 2022.
So we could keep this running. So would it be okay to come back in January and see how things are looking and what's completed, and whether you have contemplated moving into a flat in Henley altogether?
It's funny. I actually went on Airbnb the other day and nearly booked for a couple of days an Airbnb in Henley to just have some days of normality without DIY. Wow. But I've resisted so far. Okay. But yeah, you're very welcome back, and I'd love to show it to you when it's done.
Yeah, and I think this is great because so many people are interested in buying a narrowboat, but they don't realise what the restrictions are when they buy it, and then they start to work on it. It's exactly what happened to us. You know, it was at times very stressful, and to be honest with you, very lucky to have a partner with his own boat and you can escape to it. We didn't even have that. We just and the nearest pub was about half a mile away anyway.
Okay.
So, anyway, but this is great. We're just going to walk back. And...
Sure. I will just give one piece of advice
All
for
right.
anyone thinking of doing up a boat is although it's great to have grand plans, I think simplicity is key, and to remember that the reason for buying a boat and to live this beautiful lifestyle is to spend time with friends and to spend time outdoors in nature, and for me it was to slow down.
Yeah.
But actually, if you do loads of DIY and have this massive project on it, it can detract from that. So I think I'm learning that simplicity it goes a long way.
Yeah, great.
But in the meantime, I'm going to lay a really complicated parquet rainbow floor.
Okay, great. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Zoe,
Alan.
for coming on board.
You're welcome.
And I'll send you the link when it's up. Okay?
Okay, great.
Bye-bye.
Namaste.